Greetings, everyone. Focus inside while everyone connects. A small anecdote. Recently, I heard, after a year and so, that the COVID was a hoax or that people were exaggerating. Because last year, no one knew someone who had it. So, it's not real. So on my Facebook wall, I asked a question. Who had it or has it? How many days and what are your symptoms? And then there was tons of comments of people who actually had it and their symptoms. I personally know a few people who have lasting side effects, a detriment to their health that will never come back. Possibly. So a student writes to me, Luciana, says, Maha, did you have COVID? I said, no. I just asked so those interested could read the comments and realize that this is not a hoax and that this is people that you know who are suffering from it or have suffered from it. So it's life. Liz Reisenberg tells us that she didn't do 2 mala last week. Well, same here. I did it without malas, just in my mind. All right, let's go to class. I'm going to take my sheets because these mantras are long and I forget them the moment I'm done. It's not like the Kujian mantras that are one line that you do a whole lot of time. These are a lot of different mantras that do not have a consistent structure. It's easy to forget them. But it's mostly because I only practice them a few times when I review my MahaKaruna practice. The Willow's Branch, number 12. Okay. Om Shusadikara Varadanamda Mudaya Vajraput Pata Hana Hana Hompa. Okay. Let's do this slower. Om Shusadikara Varadanamda Mudaya Vajra Pata Hana Hana Hompa. So every kind of energies we can bring into the body to heal and purify us. Om Susadikara Varadananda Mudaya Vajra Patahana Hana Hompat. Switch to the left hand. This is my left hand. And the mudra is grounding. Fingers at the base of the hand, index lying on the thumb. That means the spirit lying on the body. This is a salutation to God and all things physical in the most refined ways of nature. Om Pranamana Bhagavate Mahadev Gamahani Swaha. Om Pranamana Bhagavate Mahadev Gamahani Swaha. Om Pranamana Bhagavate Mahadev Gamahani Swaha. Deep breath. Ryan Gebber told me he doesn't do the practice, or he barely does it. He watches a class to be inspired every week of something new to observe. And he said, well, he wrote, it's stuff I would not realize to observe, but it's nice to have like the weekly inspiration, something in those lines. So some don't do the practice. I practice without doing the mala. I practice in periods of time. And others like doing the mala. I do recommend it. If what you want is a mini charge, the mala, it really helps. Okay. So, yeah, everyone has their own ways of following this kind of class. 14. Now, this is one that I like. It's one of my favorites. It goes way beyond what the mantra suggests. Omkara Sammanya Swaha. Let's go over the mudra first, okay? So, you're holding a bottle by the neck. That's the mudra. Okay, you take a bottle, there's a bottle of whatever, and the bottle that has a long neck, a bit like a bottle of nectar, wine, stuff like that. You're holding a bottle by the neck. About, I would say, 3/4 of an inch. So if you hold the bottle by the neck like that, that's not a bottle, that's a keg or a jar. It's a bottle, that means a small neck, okay? It is actually a bottle that they're holding. It is the precious vase mudra, but in the old Chinese image has a small neck, okay? So that's the mudra. It's not specifically hold, relaxed. Don't. Omkara Sammanya Swaha. Now this is going to be weird to teach in the context of social distancing. Very raw. It means we are interacting with everyone. That's a very basic meaning of the words. But we're going to analyze the implications of interacting with every living being. Omkara Sammanya Swaha. Samman is a family, an extended family. It means every one of us. So it became the extended family in some context, not in every context. The ya means with. What precedes? Kara is action. So interaction is suggested by the word kara and the ya at the end of saman. Okay. So that's the grammatical, more or less. It's not a canonic phrase. It's expressions that are brought together. So kara samanya is to interact with anyone alive. Now, anyone alive is not even limited to humans. It could be nature, but in this case, they're referring to human beings. They like to limit themselves to egos, which is okay. So that was just a little bit broader than good relationship with your family. Let's go even broader than that. Let's go deeper in the meaning of karasamanya. Does it happen sometimes someone comes to you, not aggressively, not invasively, someone just asks a question or says hello, and you have a reaction like, don't bother me, just leave me alone? You could even be alone and still have that reaction while no one is bugging you. A force that says, don't interact with me. It happens. I mean, I know a few people to whom it never happens. They're just looking forward to the next interaction. But it happens. I have that. Sometimes. It is, I've got something in the eye since the beginning of this one. And it's the fact that I'm reacting to the social distancing. So this is a mantra that allows you to have better interactions with everyone. And the law says you have to be alone. How ridiculous. That's why it's weird to teach this in this period of time. But still, that's just funny on the surface. It goes deeper, okay? Karasamanya is a practice where you pay attention to a constant field of transmigration between beings. So it doesn't even look like you're physically acting. It concerns the physical interactions, but also any other kind of interaction. The Buddhists would say everything in it is interconnected. You know, the Tibetan would say that because the Dalai Lama was very strong in the last 30 years with that message. Interconnectivity. We are all connected to one another somehow. Even if you want to be alone and not be bothered, the food you have was grown by someone, transported by someone, sold by someone, and it got to you. And there is a relationship with each of these steps. Okay? So we're always interconnected. The entire world is. And everything we do affects the environment. That affects humans and all living beings in return. We're always connected. So one specific aspect is the concept of having a relationship with all living beings, even if it's very small, or when it's very big and intense. Om Karasamanya Swaha. Karasamanya is simply stating the truth. We are always interacting. Now look at this part of you that says sometimes, don't bother me. These waves that come inside of wanting to harden our hearts, especially because we're hurt. We don't want to be left alone when we feel happy, usually. We want to be left alone when it hurts to be in contact with others. That's why we do it, you know. So let's take a moment to observe this and breathe it, feel it. The amount of energy that we put in wanting to not be disturbed, that goes against the Karasamanya. And then at other times, we feel that our life is empty, that we're missing someone or many people to interact with. Loneliness sets in. And we forgot, when we miss being with some people, anyone, we forgot that at another point we wished not to interact. And we produced it. We produced the loneliness and the lack of interaction. Okay. So, Kara Sammanya, doing this mantra will awaken this dynamic of wanting to be with people, not wanting to be with people. And then the selective ego. But I want to be with these people and not those people. I understand. You could do a conscious and responsible choice to be with these people because they're pleasant, and not be with those people because it is unpleasant. It could be a responsible choice, prudence, wisdom. But that's not how it works in the ego. It's an emotional explosion. I miss these so much. I don't want to be with those. The fact that the ego produces a wave of emotion about it, missing it, loneliness in a certain way, and aggressed in another way, produces these manifestations, this push and pull at the emotional level, which accumulates more karma for us. The karma of being bothered by those we don't want and not being with those we want. Okay? So the personal growth aspect this week is to take responsibility of the emotional reactions we have, of you refusing certain interactions and yearning for certain interactions. Missing your parents, your friends, your lover, your children. Not wanting to be bothered by these or those people, whoever they would be for you. And it goes in a wheel. Pay attention to the emotional responsibility make peace with these battles. It doesn't mean to let yourself be aggressed if those are aggressing. But consider how you harden your heart when you put a carapace, a shield, so you won't be aggressed. That carapace cuts you off the feelings of the interaction with everyone in the world. It is a responsible thing to hang out with only the people you want and not be bothered by people who aggress you. It's fine. But it could be a peaceful, wise choice. And then you peacefully organize your life to have the contacts you want. But the emotional response, look at how it hardened part of your hearts. Breathe it and feel it. You can notice it. Maybe you think that you don't have strong reactions. Think about when you thought, que carajo, or fucking idiots, or, you know, when you think you don't have strong emotional response, but at one point you have this insult that wants to come out. Be honest with yourself. You have these moments of building a wall or hoping to have a wall, even if you can't build it. It happens. We're human. That's how it works. We learn to be accepting and forgiving in time. Now, forgiveness does not justify idiocy. If you are aggressed by something or someone, manage it responsibly. You don't have to stay aggressed by what aggresses you. But take charge of that battle, the emotional response, because it's not just a reaction towards these specific people. It builds a wall, and it will invoke from your karma the loneliness that then you will suffer. You're asking for isolation? You'll get it. Oh my God, and now it's a pandemic. So we had a wave of 10 years of people offended by little comments online. And now everyone has to isolate. Maybe that's not the whole karma of it. But the worldwide isolation effort, it has to be karmic. It cannot just be, oh, a virus came, it happens. There's a karma there. And don't go all conspiracy on me, please. It's just being humans. The new technologies brought so much contact with people that these reactions with karasamanya, these possible fights and conflicts have amplified. Okay. Going back to the basic, what about me in this? Think about actual human contact, seeing people, to talk with them, to hug them, to share meals, the people you miss. Okay. This practice, the mantra and the seal, it will favorize good interactions in your life. It will not give you permission to disregard the sanitary measures in place. No, that's your government to decide that. But it will find a way to keep you in touch. Now remember the effect of screens, okay? I see you, you see me through a screen, and our human feels I am not there physically. In person, I am not there physically. This eventually becomes I am not physically. And we go into the head and we become mental. Okay? A lot of time spent watching screens trains us repeatedly. This is not physical. This is not physical. This is not physical. It keeps training us with this impression in the background. And we become distant to the body. Okay? So I do encourage you to do physical sport, minimum. Just something healthy. Eat well, do your best. Stretch your muscles. I had back pain last year just because I was always sitting. And Raven wrote to me saying she has back pain. Is it because I'm always sitting? Or is it this, is that? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But always sitting, it hurts the lower back. It does. It hurts the legs also. So moving your body often and stretching. That's what I do. I do a little yoga on the floor right here, actually. Take some time to be physical if you can't be physical with people. And if we all devote ourselves to doing this mantra, and we think about ourselves, it might help. But what if we use this mantra and we think about all of humanity? Better interactions with everyone. Physically, being there. Samanya is to physically interact. Samana. Okay. Good relationships are not just online. Yeah. Good. Think about the effect on the world if you pray for the entire world. Let's try it. We'll do it for ourselves after. Let's try it a few times. This is my right hand. The entire world, the family, being there with our loved ones. Hold a bottle, leave the pinky up. Boom, because it's a refined bottle. It's not a heavy beer bottle. It's a refined little bottle of oil or whatever. Wishing that the entire world gets the chance to interact physically with the people they love. And forgive the bad interactions from the past. And soften the heart from all the walls we've put. But this is not about me. This is me wishing the entire world will have that opportunity. We recite the mantra a few times for the world, for all human beings and all entities. Om Kara Samanya Swaha. 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 And breathe. And that was for the entire world. That was not egocentric, that was for everyone. Wishing that interaction to happen. Still, while respecting the sanitary measures in place in your government, in your country. In my country, it is illegal. There's a law. So it is illegal. There's actually a fine and eventually prison for those who really don't respect the laws. If you are within 2 meters of someone you don't live with, it's basically as raw as this. If you don't live with that person, or if it's not an exclusive relative, like the right to see my mother, for example, I have the right to go see her. I have the right to see my kids, things like that. I cannot be with someone else. It's crazy. There's a thing in the orange zone where we can be 2 adults, but just 2 at a time. If me and a friend that doesn't live with me, we want to go to a restaurant or take a walk. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of heavy. And in red zone, it's like, don't even touch yourself. You could give yourself something. It's crazy. This is heavy. And this changes a lot of things in society. Imagine the long-term impact of being trained over years of staying away from others. The conditioning, the new habits. What will be the impact on society, on human life? Already family parties are being canceled, and I understand why. People die from the COVID, and some have long-lasting effects. Some don't, but think about those who do. You don't want to transmit that. You don't want to participate to the sickness by thinking that I'm doing my mantra, Om Kara Samanya Swaha, There are consequences if we don't respect the sanitary measures. But I am concerned. I would not say that I fear, but I am concerned about the long-term isolation measures. And being concerned is a mild emotion of fear and abandonment and rejection. Okay? I fear not being able to interact with the world. Every month someone asks me, when is my next seminar? hey, it's going to be years. It's insane. It's fucking insane. So, if we didn't have that pandemic, I would have given a completely different class. Well, no, the basics is still the same. Forgive the interactions that went bad. Soften your heart that you've shielded from the others. Make wise decisions to interact with cool people. And you don't have to endure the arrogant people. But you could also forgive them and soften your mind about it, your judgments. And just wish for everyone to have the opportunity. Everyone. You included. So if you miss being with your loved ones, somehow wishing for more pleasant interaction with people, do that practice. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. And now you're doing it for yourself. I do not have my mala. I don't know where it is. It's probably in my bedroom, so I will not go get it. So we'll just practice for 4 minutes. Okay. I don't feel like counting it this time. We'll practice for 4 minutes. Okay. You have the mudra, and you rest it on your lap comfortably. The hardness that I've built to not interact correctly with others, when I'm the one judging the idiocy of others, when I'm the one bitching, complaining, I'm producing that distance. Even if the world is an idiot, I could just be respectful and kind. Doesn't matter if I consider someone to be lesser than me, not good enough. I'm the one who has to realize I have built the judgment. If someone does not reach my minimum level of quality, like that person is not good enough because he uses plastic bags and I believe in paper bags. And then someone else would say, but paper bags cuts trees. Plastic bags can be recycled. So the other's an idiot. I mean, these limits are the idiot thing. The way we have decided to judge others because they're not good enough according to our standards. I want to answer Maharaja's comment that say we need to put a seminar on the calendar for next year to manifest it. Because to say it'll take years is to go to the extreme and it empowers the effect. Please get rid of that absolutely idiotic way of thinking about manifestation, please. In every class of manifestation, I teach it. There's a trick in the new age that to have money, you write yourself a check of $1,000 or $10,000 to your name. First of all, that's illegal. You can't do that. And then some people even go as far as they get it ready to cash in. So now I manifest it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is lying to yourself. If you put a date on a calendar, you believe in the calendar. If you put a number on a check, you believe in numbers. What you want is a feeling of being in a seminar. So you need to remove any kind of structure about it. And just, we want to have a seminar in person and live it and believe it. And then that energy goes into prakti. And nature will flow and find a way to manifest it as efficiently as possible. But a human ego does not control manifestation. This is New Age bullshit. So I hope that was clear, Maharaja. I know you don't want to empower that it will take years. It is to clairvoyance that I see it's going to take years. So I'm not empowering it. I'm stating what I observe. And I've seen changes. Okay. Now, another thing. If you want to not manifest something, you still have to start with the current facts. According to the current situation, it'll take years. Doesn't mean I'm manifesting it. It's the state that I believe in right now. Okay. I am not always in a manifestation mode. You have to accept you are not constantly in a manifestation mode. So the manifestation effect is extremely mild when you're just recognizing facts. Any kind of denial of the current state of things will prevent you from actually manifesting it. Many times this year, someone told me, different people, like, you're manifesting this, you're manifesting that, by saying it. I'm just stating facts. And a year after, the facts are still stated. And I did not live in denial. I lived accepting things as they are. Tathagata taught me that. Okay? So don't be afraid of what you manifest when you just state beliefs and facts. Now, if I go into manifestation mode, I will just enjoy being in the seminar with everyone. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha, Om Kara Sammanya Swaha, seminar, seminar, seminar. Together we rejoice, Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. And so be it. No date, no place, nothing else than the pure feeling that I want. And I was in manifestation mode. And I feel it. That's how you manifest. You don't lock it in dates. You put a date when you're doing your plan, when you actually want to make it happen in the physical realm, when it's possible. Oh, it's now possible to have seminar. Let's choose a date. We have to do that. But to put a date on the calendar before you even know if it's possible, all will do is bring a bigger disappointment when you see your seminar fails, and train your ego that you can't manifest because you tried it and it didn't work. That technique backfires. So don't do it. Manifest by pure feeling and don't control how Shiva will convect in that. Don't control how the world will bring it. Okay. All right. Okay. Setting objectives is good for a business plan or realizing a project when all the components are realistic. Setting a date, not knowing if it's possible, is bad business planning, bad hobby planning, and bad manifestation. It just backfires. Manifestation has to be free for Brahma to gaze at Vishnu and Shiva to convect that way, and all of this just comes into place when it can. Sorry, translators, for that phrase. Good. Manifestation is not obvious. Okay. So now, yeah, we want to manifest better interaction with people physically, if we can. So let's feel it and let's believe it. And if we all do it for ourselves, but also for humanity, something will happen with herd immunity, vaccination. This is how I think it would happen. Like, most people can't have it, and interaction will start over again. Until then, pay attention to every time you wanted to be left alone. I just want to be left alone. And that emotion accumulated and manifested in your life as, yeah, you are alone, or you can't interact with those you want. Okay? 4 minutes of practice. Starting now. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. 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 For me and for the entire world. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. 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 Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. Take a few deep breaths. Feel if you have that wall and mourn it, let it go, forgive yourself, and embrace beautiful interactions with those you love. Don't control how, when, and whom. Just feel good interactions through forgiveness, wisdom, and prudence. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. 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 Now, for you and everyone, including you, every human being, rejoice of good interactions with those they love. Om Kara Sammanya Swaha. 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 Breathe. Thank you for the practice. I forgot my mala in my room, but please do a mala, one mala per day for the next 6 days. Or 7 if you really want to do every day. To empower that. Now this is manifestation. Charging mantra. It empowers a reality. And it's not because I said something like it could take years or it's gonna take years that you should be a slave of what I say and believe it. Oh no, Maha said many years, so it's true. Well, it's an opinion. just a human. Oh, I love this. I love this practice because you start for yourself and you end up for everyone. The stage before, we were rendering grace on God in all aspects of nature. Okay? So it was not fixed on us. And then we follow with this interaction with family. And it's not just about us. It's the family that can interact with us. It's the friends that interact with friends. I love the passage of the Tao Te Ching, and I say it often in many classes. The heavens and the earth are eternal because they don't exist for themselves. The heavens and the earth exist for everyone between the heavens and the earth. And for themselves. It's for everyone, everything, including themselves. So it's good to get out of yourself, to get out of your own isolation that you have built for yourself, and desire this interaction for everyone who suffers loneliness, for everyone to have that opportunity. And of course, for everyone to be done paying their karma about it if they manifested that too. Yeah. Many of us are responsible of that isolation at the karmic level. And don't put a minimum quality on beings. Like someone is an idiot if they are below a certain bar of standards that you have. They voted for Trump, they're idiots. They still believed in Trump in the end, they're idiots. This is not a good judgment. It's just people with opinions, with life experiences, with opinions of their own. And their life brought them to believe this. Don't close yourself to people who don't meet your standards. It's important. Be wise enough to hang out with people that you enjoy, of course. It's all about prudence and wisdom. Love you guys. It is a great practice. I will live it for the world this week. Peace.